Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. Hope you're doing well, physically, mentally, spiritually. Welcome to another episode of the Splendida podcast. I'm your host, Daniel. We all have it. We all have both things. And these things help us live, help us achieve things in life. We wouldn't have what we have today if not for these two things. I'm talking about having imagination and creativity. These are two crucial things. I mean, some of the things that we have today are just, when you think of it, it was like, who came up with this? Whether these are things that we use every single day, or we've never used them, but we know that people use or have, and for the life of it, we can't understand why people are using or having these. But that's it. Like everything that we see around us, apart from nature, right, which we don't have so much of an input into, everything else came from having imagination and creativity. The thing that you're using right now to watch this video, I mean, it came from someone's imagination and someone's creativity, right? A portable device that you can take anywhere. You can even put in your pocket, if we're talking about mobile phones, right? Not so much tablets, you can't really put in your pocket, but it's portable. Laptops are portable, still can't put in your pockets. But you can access any video pretty much that you want to, that is out there, and you can watch it at your convenience. Someone thought of that. Someone thought, like, let's create something that people can use, can even carry with them, and so they can watch TV, watch movies, watch podcasts, watch whatever, watch all sorts of videos on whenever they want to. Let's do that. Let's create something like that. Maybe some of them will be like, sure. I mean, we're not in, this is not Star Trek. This is not a sci-fi movie. Come on, this is reality. We don't have that. But someone came up with it. So many things. How many TVs are out there right now? The flat screen TVs, for example. The types of cars, even, right? Types of houses. I mean, the list is immense. Okay, when you come to think of it, it was like, even to the, I don't know, cutlery design or tableware design, whatever that is, like it comes from imagination and having creativity. Now, obviously, I don't think there's good and bad imagination, good and bad creativity. There's just imagination and creativity. There's nothing good or bad from it. It's what you use it for. It's what you do with it, right? obviously because of what the world, have experienced in the last 2 years. A lot of people had time to sit down and actually imagine things, whether these were things they wanted to use or they wanted to do to improve their life, or they just wanted to create these things in order for people to use and improve their life. So a lot of people came out with these new ideas, okay? That came from this pool of imagination, which within it, there's like another pool of ideas, and decided to be creative. They used those ideas, that imagination, and created something. Whether it was something that worked or didn't work, that doesn't matter. But they took the steps to make that happen. And I think that is key for creating anything in your life. You need imagination and you need creativity. And if you're one person that thinks doesn't have that, I never was a very creative person. Everyone is. Everyone is able to be creative and imagine all sorts of things. Like when you read a book, you create the story in your mind. You have this imagination as to what the character is or looks like, right? Whatever the characters are, okay? You create that in your mind. You imagine it. Someone else that reads the same book is gonna have a different imagination. Is gonna have a different creativity towards the same book, okay? And that's why we as individuals are incredibly important, because like we have this very vivid imagination and creativity, and we can create or imagine something completely different from the one same thing. Everyone can, right? And there's beauty in it. There's beauty in having imagination and act on the creativity. It doesn't matter if you get it right, if you get it wrong, if you fail or if you succeed. What matters is the whole process of imagining and creating. That's the key. That's the thing. And if you want something in your life, you need to have that imagination. It's not just like, well, I think I'm going to do that. But if it's something where your creativity is not at play, that's why you saw, and you're still seeing a lot of people that, because of what happened in the world in the last couple of years, they had to imagine and create things for themselves to do, or for other people to do. So they created these possibilities, and a lot of people benefited from that. So if these people didn't imagine, and if these people didn't act on that imagination by being creative, other people wouldn't get to experience that either. Whether it was like people created, I don't know, new products or new services, whatever, that, probably these things wouldn't happen if whatever happened in the world happened, right? Or hadn't happened. So it's crucial for you to have rich and vivid imagination and creativity. In order for you to have creativity, you need imagination. That's the way I see it. Now, but you can have imagination and no creativity. You can. But there's something there called acting. And you need to act on that imagination. Because otherwise, you might imagine something, I've got this idea. It would be great. I would be great at with this thing that I've just imagined. I'll be great. Yeah. But then you don't act on it. So the creativity is not there. Creativity is not born because you didn't act. Once you start acting and you stick to it, creativity not only is born, but it flourishes, right? It flourishes. And the more it flourishes, then it just feeds on that imagination again. And more imagination brings more creativity, more imagination. It's just like a vicious circle. And it can't be wrong. It's not wrong. It's actually very good. You just keep, how many times you had an idea and you start acting on that, and then more ideas come from it. Because like you start being creative. It's like, oh yeah, I could do this, I could do that. Oh, I just had this idea. Because you started acting on it, on that idea or ideas. So it's just like you open up a universal tap of imagination, and creativity flows, and just more imagination. It's just like that. What is it? Those fountains where, well, I call it fountains. I don't know if they're really called fountains, but anyway, where there's a tap with running water that goes to a recipient of sorts, and then somehow it just feeds itself into the tap, and it's like a circle that's in a loop kind of thing. So it's like the water is never wasted, something like that. There are many physical examples of it. It's beautiful to look at it. It's like, oh my God, it's like harmony, perfect harmony, where it's like nothing is wasted. It's just a circle. And that's how I see imagination and creativity. Imagination leads to creativity once you decide to act on that imagination. If you don't act, there's no creativity. And that imagination is just there. It's just an idea. It's just there. And there's a lot of people who are very good at imagining things, at saying things, at having ideas, but they don't come out with, a plan or something tangible for them to create, to act upon those ideas. I could give an example of, I had this idea like years ago of something, and I was like, because I saw something, then I had an idea, and I was like, this would be great. I don't know how long after that, me having that idea, I saw someone that had done exactly that, like something very identical. And I was like, and it was like, there you go. Someone else out there might have a very similar idea, if not identical idea to yours. But the difference between you and that person is that the other person acted on that idea and you didn't. And then it was like, wow, another person is getting all the benefits from it, all the attention, because you managed to do that. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes it's actually good to act on that imagination. Obviously, if you've got like very non-positive ideas towards a person or a group of people, don't act. Obviously, I think we all know what I'm talking about. But for the most part, like we always have these really good ideas that can benefit us and benefit other people, but we decide not to act, for whatever reason, whether we are afraid of committing, of giving that step, or we're afraid that things are not gonna work out, or afraid of not knowing what exactly we should do or how it's going to work. But we just need to have that kind of like leap of faith, so to speak. You need to believe in yourself that you can use and act on that imagination of yours, on that idea of yours, and start the process of creativity. Okay? That's the beauty of it. Not knowing exactly what you're going to get, but working towards getting something, whether it is exactly as you imagine or something close to it, or at least something that might not be exactly what you imagine, but that will take you to somewhere else that maybe you didn't imagine either, but it might be better than what you imagined. Do you know what I mean? So look, I'm just gonna leave it there. I think you got the gist of what I wanted to say, or what I said. It's very important for you to have imagination. It's very important. It's even more important for you to act on that imagination towards your creativity. Okay, you need to let that creativity flow, because the more you do it, the more ideas you're gonna get, the more imagination you're gonna get. And I mean, sure, there might be a time where you're gonna be stuck of ideas. I don't think that's actually possible to be stuck. I think you can always push. I mean, not forcibly, but you can allow yourself to be open enough that imagination comes to you at the right time. And then you can act on that imagination towards creativity. I'm going to leave it like that for today. Thank you very much for taking your time to be here with me. And hopefully I'll see you in the next episode of the Splendida podcast. I'm your host, Daniel. Take care. Bye.